Hello, my awesome project managers. How are you? We got a great question in from one of our students, Mario, today. And Mario's question, it's a very good question, and it provokes thought regarding the completeness of the links in the PMBOK guide. So, Mario, this is not a silly question. It's a very good question. Question is, why do monitoring and controlling processes have an output known as the project management plan updates with no formal process change request procedure, even though the project management plan requires it? So, Mario, the truth is there is a process called perform integrated change control. All change requests go through it. But there is a missing link. It's unfortunate that you don't see approved change requests going into any planning process. That's right. You only see them going into the executing process group within integration, and I'm talking specifically about direct and managed project work. We see approved change requests going in there for action. So the way you need to deal with it is something's missing. It's not a complete picture. Ideally, there should be change requests going into executing. Approved change requests going into executing, approved change requests funneling back into planning, because replanning is done. So there's a missing link in the PMBOK guide. And in subsequent editions, it would be nice to see approved change requests getting reacted upon, even if it's just going to develop project management plan to account for that replanning. So something's broken, and it needs to be fixed. But for now, for your exam, what I would recommend is taking a look at approved change request, going into direct and managed project work, that being the process where all manner of changes are acted upon, all manner of replanning are acted upon. You could look at replanning as being task-oriented and therefore being done in direct and managed project work, just to keep your sanity. And then you can look at all those other processes where the change request really originated from as being the process where updates are made, and those updates become outputs from other processes, and those get funneled back into planning. You could look at it that way. Or you could just choose to look at it like, okay, replanning needs to happen. It's based on an approved change request. It happens. And that's the end of the story, pretty much. Okay? So, Mario, I had to vanish very quickly because I got into a coughing fit, and I have been battling that for a few days here. But, excuse me. What I'm showing you on the screen is a theoretical map of what I just talked about. You get approved change requests, could be corrective action, preventive action, defect repair, updates, right? Those go into direct and managed project work. And then you get outputs from other processes going into develop project management plan. So some of these, you could look at these as updates of all sorts. Okay? And those updates are reflected in the revised, excuse me. I am really battling with that. But you can see those updates in the form of outputs from other processes. Any project management plan update is an output from other processes. It's eventually going to funnel back into develop project management plan. The revised plan is then going to become an input to other processes, such as create WBS, for example. So right here, we could say project, we could say revised or updated. That would be the good word. Updated project management plan. The plan always finds where it needs to go. It's the lifeblood of the project. So it will always find where it's meant to go. There's no escaping the update. The update will come. It might take a while, but it is going to come to the project somehow. Okay, so that's how I would like to think about it. You get a change request from monitoring and controlling. It goes to performing a great change control for processing. You get an approved change request, which could be CAPADRU. That goes into DMPW to be acted upon. The keyword is action. Direct to manage project work, a lot of stuff happens here. Stuff is acted upon, So theoretically speaking, if you wanted to talk about tasks that have to be carried out before making a decision about approval, theoretically speaking, it's really done here, and then when it is approved, a lot of the so-called replanning has already been theoretically conceived of in this DMPW. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, DMPW is that place where approved change request goes. And then outputs from other processes in the form of project management plan updates and so on, those come from here and many, many other places. Many, many other places. But ultimately, the bottom line is those updates then get funneled into develop project management plan. You get a new project management plan updated. It goes to all these other places and the project continues. Okay? There are missing links in the guide. Yes, indeed. There are missing links in the PMBOK guide, which I would have loved to close in my own way because I have a very clear idea of how these should work. Theoretically speaking, in my mind, approved change requests should go to a number of other places, not just DMPW, control quality and control procurements. No. But I don't want to get into that. Let's leave that alone. Let's leave that for the 7th edition, and we'll deal with it when we get there, all right? Thank you for the question, Mario. Keep them coming, and keep on understanding the guide. You're doing the right thing, my friend. Well done.